It's Rachel and Sean. And it is late night, you Jagoff late night, and we are here at 5 Foster Plaza as we are every Friday, except for coming up in June when we do our porch tour for Zachary's Mission. But there are cocktails, there are snacks, and there are people here that you can kind of network with. So 5 Foster Plaza, 5 o'clock every Friday night, 5 Friday.
If you don't know what your Jagoff is, we are term of endearment Jags, which means we love to talk about people, places, things, all the happenings in Pittsburgh. But it is our duty, because we have Jag in our name, to call out the Jagoffs.
Right.
Dun, dun.
And so the cool thing is we were driving together through the Liberty Tunnels. And
Who's mad? Raise your hand.
But it was great because Rachel captured this pickup truck. Look, everybody has a buddy that has a pickup truck when you want to move, right? And so, but when you have the pickup truck, you're supposed to have the right tools, like the little red flag that goes on the back of this, 20,000-foot set of siding that was banging up and down, dragging on and the guy even crossed lanes inside the
cross lanes. Nobody was around them because they knew it was very, very violent.
Right. If you have a pickup truck and somebody's borrowing it, make sure you have the little red flag and don't change lanes in the Liberty Tunnel. Yeah, Jagoff.
I knew you were going to say it. All right, here's how you're not a Jag. If you didn't know, May the 17th, mark your calendar, is Pierogi Festival. If you were a fan, it used to be at Kennywood, and now it has moved to Southside
Works.
Yeah, the Southside Works area. And our good friends at Revive Marketing are putting that on, and we are partnering with them because obviously Rohrich Automotive is going to be there. So many of our friends, Jenny Lee, all these great pierogis that you get to try. And we are stoked for it because they asked us through our G-Jets to have people submit their pierogi recipes. So listen, Pittsburgh, we want to know, how do you make your dough sing? How's that? We want to know about your pierogi recipe. Everybody has a different, hey, it's the extra pinch of this, it's the cheese, it's the this, it's the that. We want to know yours. So make sure you go to jagoff.com and submit.
Right. All right. So here we go. We have been enjoying, Rachel has hooked us up since January with some kind of cocktail. A couple of weeks ago, we had nothing bun cakes, one for everybody. It was very Oprah style. So Katie Love Distilling out in Sharpsburg.
Yeah.
Not it. No,
right? Love Katie Distilling.
No, okay. Right. Katie
love John Chamberlain, but he gets it wrong.
Gets it wrong. You're supposed to have it on your hat, so I remember. It's like my cue card.
Can I tell you why he gets it wrong? I'll tell you. It's because we work with Love Pittsburgh, and he gets confused because, right?
No, it's
not.
Katie Love, who used to shoot our videos and now is a social media person, Maven in Florida. I always think of Katie Love. So, anyways, no disrespect meant to you. So,
none taken.
First LGBTQ woman-owned distiller in Pennsylvania.
Boom! Cue the confetti.
Not even like you can get rid of women. Just completely just gay.
Yeah.
Gay-owned.
Okay.
I love her.
G-O.
I literally love her. Yeah. That kills me.
Yeah. And but while adding the women into that, I do make up less than 1% of distilleries worldwide.
How about that?
Yeah.
We both just said it at the same time, Jinx. Typical Pittsburgh. We met you through the Pittsburgh Irish Festival, Marin Patron, who produces the St. Bridget event, which we have had the honor of emceeing for the last 2 years. And then she did the Women in Whiskey piece. Yeah. And she said, listen, there's this place, Love. Yes. And I said, I have been wanting to try it because of our mutual friend, Chrissy Costa. Yep. And I want to go there. And we were just completely smitten. You go in, it's all black and white. It's like going back into time. You play old movies. Yep. And you have a great little setup where you have a lot of little comedic things going on, right?
Yeah. We really wanted to kind of take the pressure off of Love. I mean, I think over the years, Love's become very complicated, and that's, I was thinking very cleverly of how I could design the space to make it kind of take that pressure off. And I think removing color and making things very minimal would do so, and it did just that. And people are just enamored by it and love everything, and they forget why. They forget what's going on in the world, and that's the point. I want people to enjoy the space with the person they love. After all, it is a love letter. Love, comma. Get it?
Yes, I do. I get it. Do you?
Yeah, well, you're the journalist, so I get it now. Right?
You get it now.
You told me to get it, so
Katie, we want to taste what you have in your hand. But listen, before we do that, for everybody who has not been there, give us the sales pitch. What the sales
pitch? Stand by. Give us the drinks. Right?
Oh,
so
what the heck?
Okay,
come on.
All right.
There's an espresso martini.
Sugar we lost direct.
We've got this peachy thyme tonic.
Salute, John. Salute.
Listen,
Look
with
at that.
Fino Caliguire on this thing. I have a bad story about Peach, but it ended up at his parents' house. But anyway,
Oh my God, this is heaven. As my kids know, I say all the time, little piece
so
of
tell
heaven.
us about your distillery.
Yeah. So, it kind of just happened. I'm not a distiller by any means, but I am now. I owned a mobile bar company prior to and just wanted to branch out. And I had a good friend from McLaughlin say, you should just open a distillery. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And a year later, I opened a distillery. So I just kind of winged it. I had some help from some great other distillers within the community. They kind of looked at me as like a little sister, took me under their wing. I am in a male-dominated industry, so I'm one of only, I think, 2 fully female-owned distilleries in the area. So they kind of gave me a hand getting up and running and figuring out what I was doing and making sure I wasn't blowing things up because,
It happens.
Stills are essentially bombs if you're not using them correctly. And I think I've done pretty well. Flavor's my thing, and
such good flavors.
I like to think that we do good.
And we have what's the peach drink?
So the peach drink is actually using our barrel reserve gin. So it's a gin that's been resting in a whiskey barrel. So it's going to get that nice caramely color to it, a little spicier than a typical gin. And then some homemade thyme simple syrup, peach simple, and tonic, and it's a banger.
If you heard that recipe, it's Love Katie Distilling, and this is John and Rachel Jagoff Late Night, and we are so glad that you are here because you make my absolute favorite, which is the espresso martini. And you brought a whole bottle just in case I wanted it.
I sure did. Yeah.
Now the crazy thing is that anybody we've been around who tasted that espresso martini had said that is the best one ever, right? Who was it? There was even incredible
Toyota.
people, not
Toyota really went hard
not just
for it.
crazy people like us who like to drink for free, but no, and even I don't like the taste of coffee, but it still is
Smooth.
really,
Yeah.
really good.
So
Well,
good.
we just launched a espresso martini flight, so so
We
we've
need to
got
get there.
Yeah, we've got the classic espresso martini, a coconut espresso martini, which uses rum, and then an orange gin espresso martini, which uses gin, of course.
Oh my gosh, Katie, you are just a gem. Where can everybody find you, follow you, all that good stuff?
Yeah, Love Katie Distilling on all of the social medias. And
Don't use the comma.
But no comma.
When
No,
you're putting it in on
just,
the website.
Just Love Katie Distilling.
Yeah.
And in Sharpsburg.
There you go.
And there we are.
What did you bring us for a junk drawer?
Oh, I sure did.
Yeah, I know you did.
This is a good. This is a really good time.
Okay.
Oh, this is good.
Oh boy.
All right.
This was actually
Do
in
you
my
want me
junk
to
drawer.
open it? All right.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
It was in my junk drawer like that.
And for those listening, we make sure you go, is that a pet rock?
It's a rock.
It's a rock. It's not even a pet rock. It's a rock. Yes.
There's a
now,
funny-
why was that in your
There's
junk
a funny story behind this gift, actually.
Okay.
Gift. It actually was a gift.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So when my grandmother died, my
Yikes.
aunt randomly brought me this piece of wood and gave it to me. And I was like, thanks. And I was really weirded out by it. I hope she's not listening. Anyways, so I told my other aunt, who we have more dark humor, and for my birthday, she wrapped that rock up and gave it to me.
Well, God love
You're
her.
slowly building a house.
God love her.
or a beach
Yeah,
house.
but she's
Yeah.
like, I thought you needed it next to that piece of wood. I was like, thanks.
There you go. And now you have it all. Katie, you are
Yes.
a gem. We adore you.
I adore
Check
you
out the
guys.
place in Sharpsburg and make sure you follow along because they are amazing people. Next up, we get to talk to our attorney, Rocco Cozza. Stay with us on your Jagoff Late Night.
You're like the big guy. You kind of walk around and you have a little bit of information about everything. I came across something and you sort of taught me it's the manner in which you communicate. So I saw a PG, a number, and then 3 letters.
Written in yellow was PG. That represents people's gas. The number was 6 inch.
Okay.
That says the size of the pipe. And the 3 letters, PLA, says it's plastic. So that's the locator telling the excavator that placed the one call, People's Gas has a 6 inch plastic facility underground right here under this market.
Okay, so we learn something new every day thanks to the folks at People's, but 811, you got to call 811, right?
Yes, you call 811 to be safe, keep yourself safe, your crew safe, and the public safe.
And it's the law.
And it's the law.
It's Rachel and John. We're back and with Late Night, and we always enjoy bringing people in that have unique jobs. And we had the classic one I always talk about is the gentleman that worked at PPG. He manicured the ice. He was literally the ice whisperer for Mario Lemieux when he wanted the ice to be perfect for the playoffs. And so this attorney, Rocco Cozza, he
works for the Pens?
No, he does the ice. Yeah. So Rocco, we met you years ago, and then suddenly you started to kind of get into. To me, it was almost sudden that you slid into this sort of rule of entertainment and internet law. And is that do I have that sense right? Like nobody's an overnight success, but in the meantime, did you start off doing this and we just didn't notice at that point?
No, I started in big law out of law school. So I was an employment lawyer in a former life. Worked as a corporate lawyer for a large corporation, ran their legal department, then one day just walked in and quit and decided I wanted to do it on my own. So started my firm. Business law was my trade, but I fell into entertainment law because I had a lot of connections in the entertainment sports space, and all entertainment law really is business law within that industry. So I just had connections, and I just kind of fell into it, and I fell in love with it. But the practice has definitely changed over time. It went more working with talent to start to now more of the companies and the production studios, movie companies. That's really where my practice falls now. When I started out, it was more with the talent, but that just it's not as exciting as people think.
I'm sure.
Definitely,
Yeah.
it's a lot. Right. It's a lot more challenging than people would think. Dealing with those types
really?
Of people. Yes.
Well, and I joked-ish when you were coming up and said he's our attorney, which is, to know Rocco is to understand that, of course, John and Rachel had an issue, and we were like, who do we call? Yeah. And so you are a gracious soul. You are Pittsburgh through and through. And it was like, let me work you through this and walk you through it. And then we realized, as you're saying, that if you are in this business, in this industry in some capacity, there's a need for protection. And I think that as we are, as John said, entering specifically more into a digital era, there's so many things you don't know. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with AI and everything that's just the world is changing so fast. And I always say my job is to give clients peace of mind. That's truly what I do. I sell peace of mind. I don't sell legal services. I sell peace of mind to clients. So it's my job to understand what's coming for people like you. You're in the entertainment industry, so there's a lot of laws, online laws. There's a lot of technology things that are happening. So you don't know what you don't know. Like the issue you guys ran into.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even know it was an issue, and then it just popped up. And you're like, what do I do? And it's an easy one to solve, but you had no idea that this was even going to be an issue.
Do you think everyone's like, what was the issue?
That's the
Friday juicy, I swear.
There's another one. Right now, the interesting thing, we know that medical people go back to continuing education. We know laborers go back to plumbers, all those. And we know attorneys do that as well. But it seems like something sped up the need for you to go and get even further education on all of this technical stuff, or is the education by just kind of chewing your teeth on the next case that comes through?
Both. It's both. I mean, so we have to have continuing ed every year. I'm licensed in 4 states, so PA, West Virginia, Tennessee, New York. So I have to get a lot of continuing ed every year, but I'm a student by nature, so I'm always learning, trying to learn. I want to stay ahead of the curve, and now just the speed of technology in the entertainment industry in and of itself is rapidly changing. I mean, look, 5 years ago, like movies are different, productions are different, right? There's a lot of this OTT stuff, and a lot of the platforms are just changing the way they're operating. So I just have to stay ahead of it. So it's trial by fire and self-education.
Yeah. And can you, what is that, the NFTs or something like, what is that, those digital things?
NFTs.
Like, the NFTs,
yeah. That's a whole different world.
NSFs are different. I've had lawyers for that too.
John's just throwing letters out, and Rocco's like, Jesus, Mary.
Box it. It's like lottery. Box
it. A lot of letters, yes.
No, NFTs. Is there any way to explain that in 90 seconds?
It is basically a digital thing. So it's hard. I don't really play in that space, but it's truly I take a picture and then turn it digital, and now I sell the digital picture of it. And that's really it's kind of in the crypto space. I don't know enough about it.
I got it.
I can make stuff up if you want.
No, we know.
You're like, thanks, Jagoff, for asking me that question.
If John would read the script, we would be fine. But instead, we're using 3 letters that none of us.
I can't read the script. I'm holding a drink and a microphone.
In all seriousness, one thing that you helped us with most recently that we've been alluding to is that because we do a blog post every day, and John specifically, even before I came to be, wrote blog posts and called jags out, forever. And what's happening is people are going back and finding certain things on the internet that maybe you used a photo that you didn't specifically ask for or didn't credit appropriately. And it's interesting because we think we're in the practice of, especially in social media, of saying, thanks to whomever it is. We do a very good job of that. But in this particular instance, it was in 2012 that you pulled something from a singer, we can't say. And we were like, oh crap, they want $1,500 for this photo. And John and I are like, we won't eat. So what the heck are we going to do?
As it turns out, thanks to your specialty, Rocco, is it wasn't even a person.
Yeah.
It was an AI. It was a
we
bot.
were like, boom, Rocco, you did it.
And had we not had your expertise, we would have probably said, oh my God, we're threatened by this. Let's pay the $1,500. And as Rachel said, not eat. But you got to the bottom of that pretty quickly.
We would drink.
You'd be surprised how many people actually do that. They actually just pay it. I mean, think about when you're starting a company, they get mailed. It's like those labor law posters you're supposed to have. They'll say, hey, you have to post this. We're the government. Send us $200 for this poster. It's BS, but people pay it and literally pay these scam companies a couple $100 to send them a labor law poster they can get online for free. So you just kind of got to know what you're doing. Like in that instance, it was just this company that was going out and trolling the internet for files of photos that were on websites and just getting people to pay. And if you fight back, they just go away. And that's what we did. I said, no, we're not paying this.
Yeah.
And they
We were on the email like, wow, what's about to happen?
He just told
we were
them,
eating popcorn.
he said, here's what's up.
And they were like, okay. And they were out. We were like, phew, thank God. No, and that is so true. And we talk about this in my family all the time. It's so sad. Beyond entertainment law, so many people are pulling scams today. I talk about my parents being in the baby boomer generation. And there are certain things that my dad will get and say, Rach, is this real? And honestly, I think I'm pretty savvy. And I'm like, I don't know. Did you pay that toll today? I don't know. Like, I'm not sure if you were on the turnpike. But it is so sad because this is what we're dealing with. And thank goodness for people like you who are willing to kind of.
I'm just trying to help as best I can.
I know.
Truly.
And you have offices Pittsburgh, Nashville, and
New York City.
New York
so
City.
2 small offices. So it's Nashville because I had in the entertainment space, obviously. So I would move to Nashville if I could because I love it down there. It's a great city.
Who would have thought that we would have an entertainment law specialty here in Pittsburgh years ago, right? Yeah. Here we are. We're developing.
It's when Jagoff started.
Yeah, it's a huge industry here. People don't realize how much the entertainment space is in Pittsburgh. So I just hopped on and I'm having fun. Yeah. Truly.
Well, we appreciate you, that's for sure.
For people who don't know, where can they find you and follow you in case they do need any services?
Yeah, I mean, all of my social media is just the Rocco Cozza, all one word, but our website's cozzalaw.com, COZZALAW. You can find out about the whole team there. So.
And listen, I say Cozza. I'm sorry.
Everybody does. But I never correct anybody.
You don't. No. And I've heard you say that, and I've literally written down, make mental note, and I've not. I'm sorry. I can't help it. You're Italian. That's all that matters.
The double A in her Rachel. You're like,
here we go.
So
Rachel in the audience. We just talked about this. I hate that, right?
Funny part is I asked a client today, I said, do you spell your name with an A? They're like, yeah. I said, no, an A at the end. Because if you just
Thank you.
I don't want to make any assumptions.
I appreciate it.
That's exactly right.
Rocco, did you bring us a gift?
I did, yeah.
All right. It's not your drink. That's okay.
No.
It's okay, yeah.
How
about that drink, though? Isn't it fantastic?
Really fantastic. I will definitely get some of that.
Love Katie. Oh, my gosh.
That was from my junk drawer.
Okay,
that was... It was a trip to Vegas for a friend of mine's birthday that I had to change because my daughter's parent-teacher conference came up. Changed the flight, ended up getting delayed in Charlotte for 18 hours. Basically was going to be in Vegas for 4 days, ended up being there for about 12 hours. And that's where we stayed, and I hated that place. So the Flamingo was like the worst place for me to stay because I was just mad the whole time. So that's why you can have that. I wanted out of my house.
That is so funny. Rocco Cozza. Did I say it right now?
Cozza.
Chamberlain.
Whatever you want to say.
We adore you as well. You're such an institution here in Pittsburgh. We appreciate you being with us. Stay with us on Jagoff Late Night.
Cool.
Mancini's Bakery, 97 years in business and still getting better. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That's where you will see various Pittsburgh personalities like Gretchen McKay, Super Bowl MVP Santonio Holmes, KDKA's own Mary Hours, and WPXI's Jenna Harner, learning how to make the famous Italian twist bread. Follow Mancini Bakery on Instagram and Facebook, and remember to ask for Mancini's.
Welcome to Fernandez. Can I take your orders?
You need a tablet?
No, we don't use this. We know how to yell the sandwich to cook. Here we go.
Let's dig in.
It's John and Rachel. We love to dig into iconic Pittsburgh places like Permanis. So we brought our friends from People's Gas.
Please call at least 3 business days before you dig.
It doesn't matter if it's a big project or something small like a mailbox. Always call before you dig. I called. We can dig in.
So please call 811 3 business days before excavating so you don't have to call 911.
So did you watch your mom make these a lot, or your grandmother or
Yes, so I started with my grandmother because she was the queen of like cooking and baking and whatnot. So it started, when I was probably my oldest son's age, probably around 6 or 7. She would actually let me help in the kitchen, which was awesome. So we got the pot of boiling water. We have to use a soup pot. So the smaller the pot, they don't cook as well. So you need like the tall soup pots. So we're going to drop 10 of them in here. And the rule of thumb is that you let them cook for a couple minutes, and then you have to flip them over and then let them cook a couple more minutes.
It's Rachel and John back to late night, and we lawyered up tonight because Fino Caliguire is lawyer, but also a dear friend. And Fino, I might have to hand this off to Rachel.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it.
Because your dad, Tony, was a dear friend and obviously a great guy. And pancreatic cancer took him away from us, but we're going to celebrate him on Sunday the 26th at the PANCAN Purple Stride.
Absolutely. That's the plan. Raising money for a good cause.
So let's just tease. We're up to almost $20,000 as far as having a team.
We're about $600 away from $20,000, about 40 team members participating in the actual walk.
Yeah.
So we have a nice crowd going.
Yeah.
Nice amount raised. It's awesome.
And, I have to say what a difference a year makes, right? Because we participated last year and saw, it was family, a couple of friends, but you saw how many other people were coming out. And now it's like you got some traction under you to learn, like, okay, we're getting through a tough year and we're going to be the people who come out now and just bring it even more and more, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty quick turnaround last year. It was a couple months after his
Sure.
death. We felt like, hey, we're not going to raise a ton of money, but we want to do something.
You want to participate.
Yeah, we shot a couple text messages out a couple weeks before, like, let's raise some money and get out there. Throw some purple on, and we'll make it a yearly thing. So this year's a little bit bigger. We're happy with where we're at, and thanks for you guys' help.
Well, so if you're listening, watching, whatever you're doing here, make sure you come out to 26 because we raised enough money that we could actually have 2 tents if we wanted because you had to raise $10,000 to get a tent. And
it was $10K a tent, so we're getting 2 tents.
Caliguires and the Irish people who tag along will be there. So
excellent.
Yeah. What time does that even start?
I believe the actual event starts at 9:30, like the area. But I think the walk, which is only a mile and a half, starts at 10:30.
And it's over where the geese poop is.
Yeah, Shenley Park.
Oh,
they moved it, John.
Oh, my God, I would have showed up at the wrong place.
That'd have been funny.
That would have been John.
Where's the tent at?
The dirt. The geese poop.
Where's the tent?
Right.
I want to.
Thank God you came.
So I'm going to actually bring this to a little place that's a little bit heartfelt for all of us, right? And so I've had the honor of being John's partner for almost 9 years, and I've had the distinct honor of meeting your father and your family, and it's been an amazing journey. And he brought so much laughter and joy to so many people. And when he got his diagnosis, I will never forget John's reaction because John, he's a doer. How do I help? And John wanted to know, what can we do? Is it raising money? Is it raising awareness? And at the time, your dad wanted it to be his story.
Yep.
And it wasn't his story. It's the story of his legacy for his grandchildren. And to me, that is the ultimate gift that a human can give another human because that is selfless. You are talking about what you are going through to help other people once you are gone. And you want your vibrancy to live on as it is now, right? For your grandchildren. And I just think his humility and his amazing personality shine through. But thanks to John Chamberlain, if you can do anything this weekend, obviously we want you to pitch in for this amazing event. But if you do anything, go to the jagoff.com website and look at Time with Tony, because those videos hit home for anybody who has a dear friend who has gone through something like this.
Yeah, and it's nice to just have, like, not many people get to go back and you have, like, I can hear my dad's voice, hear his laugh, here's stupid stories we've heard hundreds of times, you roll your eyes at, but now, like, you don't get to hear that anymore.
Sure.
And it's still there, and it's memorialized, and everyone that watches it has loved it, and it's a nice thing to have. And I know he appreciates you and the experience dearly. I mean, I think it helped him, us coping with it, getting to talk about things, his fears, his grandkids, reminiscing with you and the stupid stuff you did, the root beer floats.
Yeah.
So he loved it. We're appreciative of it. We're happy you're joining us for the PANCAN walk.
Yeah, we want everybody to join us. And no, I think that you nailed it as far as, Rachel, as far as he didn't want just pictures of himself for his grandkids to grow up and see.
Yep.
He wanted them to hear his laugh and hear his opinions on things. And really, quite frankly, if you get me drunk on these things from tonight, we'll talk about the stories that we didn't record, because it was fun to kind of catch up and talk about our old ambulance stories. And then we'd say, okay, let's clean it up, and let's hit the camera and record. Yep. So it was always fun, but again, his positive attitude through it all. I don't know, I guess, Fino, did that help you all, or, as far as how he was carrying himself, knowing that he wanted to do that? I mean, it's not easy, clearly, but did it help you all through that process?
I mean, I think talking about a terminal diagnosis like that, just like opening up the conversation, like no one wants to really talk about it, but then having a forum to really go out and talk with you, that kind of primes it. So the ball was rolling, the floodgates were open, like everyone's talking about it. It's out there now.
And let me provide a little more context to that, because the average person, right? I'm not in the medical field. I'm clearly in the communication field, and you don't know what you don't know. They were medical professionals in some capacity, so they knew what was coming. It's not like your dad was that guy who was like, oh shucks, like I have this diagnosis, what's next? He knew every step of the way, as well as your mom, what was happening and what was next. And there was so much bravery and courage in the fact that you know what's coming, you're preparing yourself for it, but you're allowing other people to see it. And to me, that's a vulnerability that most people do not share with others.
Yeah, and it's kind of what led to the scariness of it for him and my mom. Pancreatic cancer is it's one of the worst major cancers. They catch it so late. Yep. I think the 5-year survival rate is now up to 13-ish%. It was at, I think, 6% in 2010. So they're making big strides recently with the research, but they knew as soon as the diagnosis came in, apart from a miracle, I mean, the doctor said about 2-3 months. We got 13 months because of the recent developments in pancreatic cancer treatment. And we were with him nearly every day. He got to see the birth of my son. He got to hang out with Charlie, my 4-year-old, almost every day. I mean, and that extra 8 months wouldn't have been there if they didn't make the big leaps in the treatment that's been happening. So that's why we're participating, trying to raise money. I mean, there's big cuts to federal funding for cancer research now. So we're trying to help where we can, give people the opportunity to get as much time with their loved ones as they can.
Mm-hmm. That's a tough one. All right. So let's move on, because I think I'm about to cry.
I'm just going to insert this. Is one of the things Tony talked about on the videos was, I'm no different today than I was yesterday. So don't go up and say, oh my God, and start whispering the C word and things like that. He's like, I'm still me. Yep. I'm still a human. I can still hear you. My pancreas might not work, but my ears still work, and I hear you whispering. And don't be afraid. Just approach me. And I think that was one of the biggest things we learned.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted to make people comfortable with it. I mean, it's funny, he taught a death and dying class in nursing school. And he was the one that anytime anyone in the family, close friend passed, he was the one you went to, and he would talk you through it, help you out, and which is why it made his passing even worse. You're like, oh, who am I going to talk to now? This would be the person I go to to get sorted out. Right. But, I mean, instilled the lessons and values and talked to us enough about it that we're doing well.
Yeah. So, all right.
Well said. Where can everybody find out more information about the walk?
While I drink.
While John drinks and cries.
We're
this is my crying drinking partner.
Team Big Poppa POPPA. That's what my daughter Charlie called him, so that's what our team name. It's on the PANCAN Purple Stride website. Just Google it. We'll make some posts. I'll maybe send John you a link. Just so it's there.
Yeah, we'll put the link.
Team Big Poppa. Yep.
I love it. All right. Did you bring us a junk drawer gift where we cry more?
Brought a couple. Trying to make John cry. So this is an EMT patch from when you guys were EMTs together. And then
we told so many stories about Tony farting on ambulance calls. That's the part that did make the videos.
I made it.
The nuns, like, where did that smell come from?
And this?
And then this is, anytime he was at garage sale, Trader Jack's, anything, if he saw a little ambulance, he would always just grab any little mini car ambulance that he saw just because he loved his time as an EMT and paramedic. So there's a whole bunch of them at my mom's house, so I figured now you could have.
There you go. Fino, one more time. The name of the team for Purple Stride, April 26th is?
Team Big Poppa. B-I-G-P-O.
We're close to 20
Cue the song. I love it when you call me Big Poppa.
Exactly.
Because we need something to bring us up. It was such an honor to have you come on, Fino. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of all of that as well. And if you can give, we certainly appreciate it. But by all means, come support
Show
and
up
walk
and
with
ride
us.
our coattails.
Yeah, walk with us, you Jagoff. Next up, we have an amazing band in studio. Stay with us on your Jagoff Late Night.
Welcome to Panani. Can I take your orders?
You need a tap it?
No, we don't use this. We know how to yell the sandwich to cook. Here we go.
Let's dig in.
It's John and Rachel. We love to dig into iconic Pittsburgh places like Permanis. So we brought our friends from People's Gas.
Please call at least 3 business days before you dig.
It doesn't matter if it's a big project or something small like a mailbox. Always call before you dig. I called. We can dig in.
So please call 811 3 business days before excavating so you don't have to call 911.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
And speaking of staples, what better place to end our journey along Brookline Boulevard but at Peterland? I mean, people come from far and wide to come here. So the family, the owners here, traveled to Pittsburgh from Lebanon back in 1969, and they started cooking in a relative's basement. And in 1990, they opened Peterland. And it really is a community, as I said, staple, but also a place where people come, they shop, they eat well. It's a bakery. And we, of course, need to talk about their patriarch. And look, they have a memorial here. He just passed away in 2024, Joe. And even as you read it, you can see what he was for the community and what this whole place means to so many folks.
Rachel and John, it's late night, and as you know, the podcast, since we've been doing this, we always have loved supporting local music, and this is awesome. We have 2 members of the XDB band here, and Xander and Rob. I just got that right, so because there was really 30-second delay, and I would have forgotten, right? Yeah. So, first of all, welcome to the Jagoff Late Night.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You really brought all the stuff here.
Oh, we love seeing all the equipment, and we love seeing your disdain looking at us like, so how are you going to make all this work, right?
No, I was impressed. You guys nailed it.
Oh, let's hope. Yeah. Let's hope. It hasn't come just yet. But tell us a little bit about your music and how long have you been around?
Okay, so I'll go first on this one. This started out as a solo project for me years ago, 2009. And in 2011, I decided to, instead of just playing the tracks or using pickup members, for it, I started to put like a band together. And then it just kind of like went up and down through the years. And our drummer guy, Cole, smacked me around at a show one time in 2021 and said, it's time to bring this band back. And so we did.
Okay.
And so we're back, and now it's just XDB, and it's we're working on a new album called Gods of Aliens, and This guy here, Mr. Rob Kane, is is a synergy now of like our writing styles. I used to be more of like a progressive metal guy. He's more of like a, what would you call it?
Melodic 80s metal.
Melodic 80s metal.
You're playing my tune.
So so it's a mix of that now.
How about that? Two very distinct genres coming together.
Yeah, so like Journey meets Dream Theater. How's that?
Yeah, that's
that good.
Fair.
Yep.
Okay,
Fair?
I love that.
Yeah.
What types of venues do you play?
Anybody will have us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Even
the
the
beauty of it
studio
now,
here
right?
at Odyssey. Yeah.
Right. That's the beauty of it now. We talk often to musicians who, they were used to having to go to certain rooms or saying like, oh, this isn't the fit, or we need more of a band, or we need less of a band. And now there are breweries and coffee shops and so many unique places that you can really master your craft, right?
Right, but it's a little bit tough because we do try to do more originals.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? And nothing against cover bands. I mean, we're in a tribute band ourselves, like most of us are here tonight. But we are trying to do like more to get our music out there.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's fair enough.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Where is your next performance? Do we need to mark the date? Okay.
Jurgles on April 22nd. We're opening for LA Guns.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And then what other bands are there? Red Rain and what's the other one called? The Cheats, right? The Cheats, yeah.
Right, yep.
So there's 4 of us that night. We're doing a private event on that Thursday. And then we have some stuff coming up where, it's like the acoustic version of this band where we do covers and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, where can they go to find out more?
xdbmusic.com.
Oh, that's so
Nice.
easy.
Yeah.
Did you bring us a junk drawer gift?
I did.
Oh, I know what it is.
And
it's
so
shameless plugs.
It's so unoriginal. I was just
Love
going to bring you a CD, but I don't know where they are, so I'm bringing you one of our older
good, because
T-shirts.
I don't know where my CD player is.
I love this T-shirt.
Oh.
XDB, we are so excited to have you guys perform. What's the name of the song that we're going to hear you guys do?
This song is called When the Love Is Gone.
When the Love Is Gone.
That
You
doesn't
guys,
sound like-
thank you so much for joining us, and we are going to throw this to
412 Dues from Visit Pittsburgh.
There you go. And then it's their song on your Jagoff Late Night.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Taylor Sprito with Visit Pittsburgh here to tell you the 412 to-dos. It's a holiday weekend, which means the city is buzzing with celebration. But why not step outside of the city and head to our favorite amusement park? Kennywood is open for the season and hosting its excellent celebration. Enjoy a scavenger hunt and have brunch with Tuft, Kennywood's Easter Bunny. Even if you can't make it to the excellent celebration, the weather this weekend looks to be perfect for enjoying a day at the park for the first time this season. A vintage makers market is taking over the portal in Bakery Square on Sunday. Discover unique handcrafted goods and timeless treasures from tons of local artisans and vintage vendors. If you're in the mood for some spring cleaning, donation bins will be available for you to drop off new or gently used clothing and accessories. Speaking of spring, color is returning to Pittsburgh's riverfronts. The red buds are in bloom throughout the city, decorating its landscape in lush, popping pinks. Unlike popular cherry blossoms, which only last about a week, red bud flowers last between 2 to 3 weeks, and this week is the perfect time to see them. The Pittsburgh Red Bud Project says the red buds are in peak bloom in mid-April, so don't miss your chance to catch them before they're gone. And the Spring Flower Show at Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens is almost out for the season. This weekend is your last opportunity to view all of the quintessential spring blooms you love to see during this time of year, from tulips to pansies, lilies, and more. But hurry, the Spring Flower Show is only on display through April 20th before it leaves to make way for the Summer Flower Show, titled Jungle Quest. And for any other events, festivals, performances, and more, be sure to check out visitpittsburgh.com. Until next time.
Hey, we're XDB, and this is our new single, When the Love Is Gone.
girl, do not back off, because we were back there like, that girl is awesome. We love watching you rock out. Excellent job, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much to Rocco for coming on. I'm not saying his last name again, but follow that law firm. And please make sure you check out Big Poppa's team for the pancreatic walk that's happening next weekend. We appreciate everybody, Michaela, Tracy, Johnny, for helping us out. Have an amazing weekend. Happy Easter. And thanks for joining us on your Jagoff Late Night. Have a great weekend.